Hello there, this is my 90-gallon cube with 30-gallon sump. It's been set up a couple of months, going through the ugly stages at the minute. When you cycle a tank you get bound up phosphate from the rocks and silica from the sand leaching out into the water. That's why they call it the ugly stages, and you get all kinds of algae coming out, but I've got a reactor to deal with that, which we'll get to. There is ways of reducing phosphate coming out of rocks before you put them in your tank by cooking them. This time around, I've done that plenty of times before. This time around I just decided to go with it, and it's working out quite well. So I've got the Kessil A350W. The one up from that's the A360, which is controllable through the Apex that I've got. I'll be upgrading to that soon. You can adjust the light to how blue you want it, or white. That's why they call it tuner blue, tune the blue Kessil. The design is a weird design, so it goes through the slats up there, the water, and it gets overflowed. It's running with the vortech MP40W, which is controllable. There's also some slats down there. It's a Durso design, so the water gets overflown through the weir, falls down there, gravity sucks it down the sandpipe and goes down into my sump. I'm running the bubbleMagus C6, which has been removing some black licorice schemate. I'm really impressed with it. I've had Vortech in the past, I've had Reef octopus, but this thing is just amazing for the money, and the build quality is excellent. The filter sock there. So that's the tube. The water comes down the standpipe into the sock, which I put in the washing machine. There's all different ways you can clean a sock. Some people use bleach, some people power wash them. I put it in the washing machine, no detergents, nothing. I run the washing machine with an empty wash prior to putting it in, so no detergents go into it, and air dry it. Never had a problem with filter socks doing that. I'm running the jebao D6000. You can't really see it that well. That's a look. It's so silent you can hardly hear it when it's running. This one's quite noisy, which is running the reactor I've got in there with some Roaphos. The Roaphos has reduced the phosphate to about a third of what it was using the Roaphos already. Ideally you want your phosphate down below 0.03. You need a sensitive test kit to test with phosphate. It's quite a wide tank. It's deep. It's 30 inches deep, 2 foot in width, and just under 3 foot in length. The shimmy you get, if I turn the light off you might be able to see it rather than just the shimmy you get off the Kessils is just amazing. I love Kessils. They might not be the leader in controllability, but I've never seen a shimmer look so natural, and that's with the glass I'm running at the top, which I do take off because glass can deplete your pH because of oxygen gas exchange, so you don't want to run them full time. Some people do. I've got a Clarky Clown in there, which is really good. He's doing well. They're very hardy. And I've got a couple of shrimp. I've got a box of shrimp and also a cleaner shrimp called loads of crabs. I've got a couple of corals in there at the minute, which I've took from my friend's tank. He was breaking it down, so I'm just babysitting them till he gets his setup back on track. They won't be in there long. And that's that tank. So over the road from it, I've been running a nano for a couple of years and a couple of house moves. Yep, I'm in rented. I'm mad enough to do this in rented accommodation, but it looks like I'll be able to stay here a long time. But I already have the move planned for my big tank if need be. Most of these are grown from frags. So like you've got the chalice, which started off as a couple of centimetres, which is now about 6 inch. Favia coral, my favourite. These zoas have done really well. There's nice white sand in there. It's nice and established. Grew like some SPS from tiny little frag to that. It's gone wild in there. So all this will be transferred over to my main tank in due course. I'm known to be quite patient in the hobby, so I'll probably leave it a couple more months before they go over. And that's that. I'm running the Apex as well. The lights have been off, so the pH has come down from about 8.2. And all these cables and wires, and they're going to be put in a cabinet at the side and wired in. That's the controller for the jebao pump. And there you go. I'll do some updates, let you know how I'm getting on. Been in the hobby quite a while. I done my aquascaping by using dry rock called Reef bones. You can cook it before you put it in a tank to reduce any phosphate that comes out, but I've done that before, but I just decided to roll with it this time and it's working out pretty good. We'll soon get rid of the phosphate. I glued it together with putty, then used cyanoacrylate super glue to stick some sand to hide the putty. Like you see there, there's like pink putty there, but it's been covered up. So it looks quite natural, and I think it's going to look great once I get it going. Okay, thanks for viewing.